Hello, everybody. Welcome to turn 3 of our ongoing Sport of Kings played by email campaign. So, we are going to start with the diplomacy phase. Hello, everybody, by the way. I hope you all had a good week. We're going to get started. We're going to go ahead and get started with our diplomacy. Do we have any public announcements? Starting with England. King George is happy to announce that Great Britain and Prussia are now in alliance with each other. Furthermore, due to the greedy actions of Madrid and Versailles, England has made a formal declaration of war against France and Spain. England has authorized the colonies to begin mass unrest and brutal attrition in the colonies. All right, looks like we got some people showing up. France is here, England is here, Spain is here, all the colonial powers are here. Hello, colonies. It's going to be a little sporty for you guys today. France has a diplomatic announcement from Versailles. France is proud to announce an alliance with the Great Ottoman Empire. The Ottomans have their own. France and the Ottoman Empire are now allies. As such, the Sultan expresses his sincere gratitude to his new and trustworthy ally, King Louis of France. Alternatively, the heinous and unprovoked attack committed by the Russian Empire will be repaid in kind. Prussia. Prussia says, in accordance with the lies and deceptions that have been propagated throughout the civilized world, Prussia stands with its friend and ally, the Empire of Great Britain. The next one is... That's it. That's it for all the public announcements. There we go. So, we've done our build and move plots. I have the paperwork thusly. And we'll go on to our naval movement phase. Naval movement phase. There's quite a bit of it here. England. England's going to move some ships. You guys excited to figure out what kind of ships are going to get moved? See if I can find my pointy thing. Nope, that's a line. There it is. It's buried in the bottom. Bam. There we go. In the East Atlantic, which is this right up here, England is moving one light battle fleet and one heavy battle fleet from the Eastern Atlantic to the Western Atlantic. Right there. England is going to move 3 SP from England onto the transport fleet in the Eastern Atlantic. 1, 2, 3. All right, next, from the Eastern Atlantic to the North Sea, England is moving one transport fleet, including 3 SP, thusly. All right, in the Ooh, actually, we got a couple. Hey, England, are you still on here? All right, he's still on here. Need to verify a couple of things. Okay. Hey England, I think a lot of people have forgotten this turn. You're not the only one. A lot of people have, but in the winter turns, which is what every third turn is, there's no building, so you can't build SPs, fleets, forts, anything like that. Nor can you do amphibious invasions. So, um, except for in the Caribbean, the Med, and there's a couple of other spots, but um, yeah, Med, Black Sea, Caribbean, and Manila are the only ones that are allowed to have naval invasions in the winter turns. So, I'm going to give you a mulligan on that and assume that you actually want to do something with those and you're not going to do an amphibious invasion with them. So, we're going to make that movement, those respective movements, um, as part of land movement. So, um, well, just so I can keep track of it in my mind because I have it written down so I don't lose it. I'm gonna make the moves, but they're not going to count as amphibious invasions, just so we're all on the same page. So, um, Northern Carnatic to the Indian Ocean is moving one colonial SP. And again, this isn't an actual amphibious invasion. It's just for my own sanity so I can keep track of stuff. All right, and then also Mid-Atlantic to the Western Atlantic, 2 regular and 1 colonial. There. All right. I believe that's all of England's naval movement. France. France, you're moving pretty much everything except for 2 transport fleets and 1 light battle fleet into the Eastern Atlantic Ocean. Also, as a free movement, those 2, the medium and the transport fleets that are in port, are moving into the actual sea. So, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So, 1, 2, 3. 2. There you go. All those are moving. I'm going to presume the Marines are going with. Conversely, the Spanish transport fleets are kind of motoring here to the other side of the boot of Italy, and they're picking up 6 SP from the Ottomans. And then they are moving from the Mediterranean Sea to the Black Sea. All right. I think that took care of that. That should be all of that. The Ottomans, yes, moving their 6 SP on French transport fleets. That is understood. Prussia doesn't do anything because they don't have a navy. España. España is moving everything that's in the southern Atlantic here to the eastern Atlantic here. At the Leeward Islands, Spain is embarking one regular SP and one colonial SP from the Leeward Islands into the transport fleet. They are also embarking from northern Spain, i.e. Mexico, one regular SP onto that transport fleet. That's not movement. Sweden doesn't have movement. And then in final movement, news reaches the world that, come on, come on, come on, come on. You can do it. Work with me here. I don't know if you can see that or not. A treasure fleet has pulled into port. Boop. And starts unloading 11 gold pieces into the Spanish coffers. Hear that? Chink, chink, chink. 11. That's exciting news. So, that's it for the naval movement. Next, we have hurricane season. It is the winter turn, and we have hurricanes to worry about. So, do we have any navies that are going to worry about hurricanes? Well, yes, we do. Roll for hurricanes occur during the winter turn only in Caribbean and South Atlantic sea zones. Roll a d6 for each sea zone with a 6 indicating that a hurricane has occurred. For each fleet in that sea zone, roll a 1d6 with a 4, 5, 6 indicating that the fleet has been sunk. So, we've got a sea zone. The Caribbean is the only one that has fleets in it, so we're just going to roll for that real quick. All right, come on. Yeah, great, awesome. All right, here we go. It's the trusty black die of death. I need to roll a 6 to sink his boats. Are we going to get sink his boats? Yes, maybe. We got a 6. The ships might be sunk. So, there is a battle fleet, which I'm going to use the red die. And then I'm going to use the black die for the transport fleet. If any of them indicate a 4, 5, or 6, then that particular ship has sunk. So, that's what we're going to do. Red is the light fleet, black is the transport fleet. They both get wiped out because I rolled a 6 on the black and a 4. Oops, there we go. And a 4 on the red. As the wailing screams of little itty bitty bitty thousands of little itty bitty men as they drown in the Caribbean Sea. Maybe they will rise once again on the Black Pearl as they go searching for their gold. So, and hurricane. So, do we have any naval combat? Well, the only sea zone that has fleets from opposing countries is the Eastern Atlantic, and they're France and Spain, and they're declared allies. So, um, no naval combat. Boop. Land a movement. Here we go. So that was, I do have to say, in all of the time that I've played this game, uh, not to say that I have extensive experience. Number one, that's the first time we've had to deal with the hurricanes, and number two, that we've had to have any ships get sunk. Number three, that we've had multiple ships get sunk in the same hurricane, and number four, the sinking ship took 3 SP down with it. So, so there you go. I guess I should say, probably looking at Spain, I need to check it. Yeah, the General Marquis did something, I don't know Spanish very well, but there is word that the great Grand Marquis General somebody perished as well in that most tragic event. But we will move on because there's other more exciting things to do than talking about little itty bitty tiny microscopic people drowning in pretend water. Coming over to Croatia. We're starting with Austria, excuse me. Yeah, we're on land move. So, Croatia to Austria. From Austria movement, Croatia is moving 4 SP. 1, 2, 3, 4. From Venetia, they are moving 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Into Austria. And from Bavaria, they are moving 7. Hey. Austria has a nice large stack there. Württemberg is moving 2 SP into Franconia, which Franconia is just above right here. So 2 there. And then Baden is moving 4. So we have a little invasion of a neutral territory there. There we go. That is it for Austria's movement. England. And again, this isn't actually an amphibious assault. I was just because he would have been able to make the movement over land, so I adjusted it over land, but just to keep things in order on the paperwork. England is moving 2 regular SPs and 1 colonial SP from the Middle Atlantic colonies to New England. And then from it would have been Northern Carnatic, but you can't see that. Let me shift the camera, pardon me. There we go. So the moved 2 regulars and 1 colonial from the Middle Atlantic to New England, and then from Northern Carnatic moving 1 colonial SP from the Northern Carnatic to Mysore. The 3 SP in the North Sea are disembarking into Hanover. That is not amphibious assault, therefore it is allowed to do that kind of movement. From Hesha, 3 are moving from Hesha to Hanover. Burp, 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 burp. From Bengal to the Maharashtra states, 1 SP is moving. And then from the Maharashtra states to Mysore, 7 SP are moving. All right, that's it for England. France. France is moving from Westphalia to Hanover, 12 SP. So the invasion of Hanover has begun. France is also moving from Berg into Hesse, 4 SP. From the Netherlands into Westphalia is moving 1 SP, and from the Netherlands into Berg, 1 SP. Westphalia and Berg. There's that. From New England. From New England, we got 1 regular SP and 3 colonials. Let's do this. I need you. So that's 3, 4, 5. So this red goes away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Make sure I have the right number of chips and all that stuff, so I don't. Moving from New England to the Middle Atlantic colonies. Now the strange occurrence. There are 3 SP in Denmark flying French flags and wearing French uniforms, marching from Denmark into Hanover. And from Mysore to the Maharathas, 3 SP are moving up that way, with 1 remaining behind. You guys could make it easy for me. So what's going to happen is we basically got a meeting engagement here. and a meeting engagement here. And what's going to happen is between those two forces, a die roll is going to be made to determine if the battle happens in New England, the Middle Atlantic colonies, or in the Maharajas or Mysore, firstly. Which we'll get to that in a little bit. All right, the Ottomans. The Ottomans also don't make it easy. From Montenegro, they're moving 4 to Wallachia. So I need to break this down into 4. So 1, and then 1, 2. All right. Montenegro to Bosnia, moving 1. From Bosnia to Dalmatia, moving 1. Basically running a chain there. From Montenegro to Macedonia, we're moving 1. And then Macedonia to Rumelia, moving 1. And then Rumelia to Turkey, moving 1. And then Turkey to Georgia, moving 1. And I think I forgot to write it down. Georgia to Don is moving 2, or 10, excuse me. There. And then I forgot to mention that these, the guys in the Black Sea are moving into Georgia. If I remember correctly, I just forgot to transcribe it over. Yeah. All right. So that's the end of the Ottoman movement. Let me check up on the chat. Here we go. All right. Let's see here. Got a lot of chit chat going on. So going back, we got some. It'd be nice if they had timestamps on these. That'd be great. So looks like some people are cheering for the treasure fleet landing in Spain. We got some nice Iron Riders getting a lot of glee over the hurricanes that sunk all the Spanish fleets in the Caribbean. And Spain has acknowledged that they have joined the drowned god. That is very true. And then Iron Rider acknowledges that it's time to attack Stockholm in order to remove the Swedish vodka. That's very interesting. All right. Prussia. Prussia. From Poland to the Duchy of Warsaw is moving 2. From Livonia to Poland, moving 3. From Silesia to the Duchy of Warsaw is 4. From Silesia to Saxony is 6. And from Silesia to Prussia is 2. Did I eat up all my greens already? 2. So there's 5 there now. That leaves 3 in Silesia. From Prussia to Hanover, we have 2 Prussian SP moving into there. And from Prussia to Hesse, 2 moving in there as well. So that's certainly an interesting turn of events. Okay, so I need to clean up. I need to take 1 away from you. Put the gray onto you. Take this green away, turn it into a gray, put a guy on top. And then taking 2. 6 duchy. 6 in Duchy, 2 in Prussia, 3 in Silesia, 6 in Saxony, 2 in Hanover, 2 in Hesse. Yep, perfect. Okay, good. That's it for Prussia. Russia. Russia attempts to move 1 SP from Kiev to Podalia, but the CDC is in Podalia and turned them away because there's disease there. So that move bounced back and straight back into Kiev. And in southern Ukraine, moving 1 SP from southern Ukraine to Crimea. That's it. Oh, apologize. Turn the camera. Yep, let me come over here because that's the side of the board we're on now. I keep forgetting about that part of it. There we go. All right. Of course, ironically. So basically, going kind of backing up the Ottomans. Did a lot of shuffling. Put some guys into the Georgia. The guys that naval on the French fleets moved from the Black Sea to Georgia. The guys originally in Georgia moved up to Don. And then with Russia, the southern Ukraine just moved 1 from there to Crimea. I'm not looking at the map, I'm looking at my monitor, and it's really difficult. And then up here, Prussia moved into Saxony and moved into Duchy of Warsaw, and then reinforced the English in Hesse and Hanover. I think that covers. I think that covers it. All right, Spain. Spain is moving from the Caribbean to Jamaica, an amphibious assault with 3 SP. Oh no, they're not. They're dead. From the southern colonies to the mid-Atlantic colonies. Moving 1 regular SP and 3 colonial SP. And from Nizam to the Maharatta States, moving 1 regular SP and 4 colonial. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. Sorry, Mike. I gotta throw some shade because it's hilarious. All right. Sweden. One SP is moving from Pomerania to Mecklenburg, and then Mecklenburg to Denmark. Oh, I forgot to put out Sweden's Navy, but they're not doing anything, so it's no big deal. All right. Builds. It's the winter turn. There are no actual builds in the winter phase, but you still can spend money. So just to make sure that we get everything covered, I need to find my phone. All right. So England is going to pay 3 gold pieces for a native ally in North America, and then also pay 3 gold pieces to roll for a native ally in Mysore. So I need to make that note real quick because I did not have that previously. So I need to find my pencil. Where did my pencil go? Go away. Yeah, you have things set out, then you can't find them. All right, England. Let me write in my ledger. That's where it counts. Oh, I did write it in there. All right. I actually made the note. It's amazing. All right, we're gonna make a roll for England. They're paying the 3 to get a native ally in North America. They can't get a 1. So just as long as they don't get a 1. I'm going to shift this over here since we're doing native allies. Bam. 3. Nope, they get a native ally in North America. So they have little peeps there. And then in Mysore, they're allowed to have the full gamut, so it's just a +1 modifier like the French and the Spanish do elsewhere. So let's see how many they gain. They're going to get at least 1. With a 6 +1 makes it a 7, so that's a 3. 6 plus is a 3, so they get 3 allies. I just got to find them. Find my tokens. There we go. Now the difference between the native allies in North America versus in the subcontinent is in North America they hit on the first 5, the rest are 6s. In the subcontinent they hit on their first 5, the rest are 6s. So those are England's purchases for native allies. France. France is paying for a +2 modifier in the Middle Atlantic colonies and also in the Marathas down there, +2 modifier. So he gets a +2 modifier on both of those. So I'll roll for North America first. 3 becomes a 5. It gives them 2 in North America. It's going to be confusing. And then in the Maharatas, again, also a +2. 3 + 2 is a 5. They get 2 down there as well. Maybe. If I can find it. 1. Here we go. 2. All right. Do we have anybody else? I do believe Spain had something. Oh, Spain spent money to raise some native allies in Jamaica, but their support never made it. So they just ran off with the rum and all that stuff and are having themselves a grand old party. All right, so that's it for the builds. Land combat. Now, real quick, what we got to do is we have a couple of meeting engagements. So to figure out exactly where it is that they're fighting, we need to do a dice off. And then, first things first, though, I need to figure out which generals went. England. So England has a sub-general in North America, and so does France. So those are +1s. So they're each going to get a +1 to the die roll. Red will be England, black will be France, and whoever gets the highest, basically they won the initiative. They were able to move into the other territory first. So basically, the winner of the die roll has a chance to capture a territory. The loser has to defend their territory. Verify. There shouldn't be any ties. I just want to make sure I didn't say anything for ties. All right, so it's going to be a meeting engagement. France does not own New England, or it wasn't a starting territory, so they wouldn't gain any militia if the battle is fought there. But if it is fought in the Middle Atlantic colonies, England would get a militia unit. So let me pull out the general while I'm thinking about it. General here, and then France has a general here. All right, red is England. Basically, it's a straight die roll since they're both +1. So whoever wins, no ties. And re-roll because it's a tie. 3, France wins. So moving into the Middle Atlantic colonies. The fight is over the Middle Atlantic colonies. It is a meeting engagement. England does get a militia unit because it's in their territory. They do not get defensive works. So, all right. Oh, yeah. You want to make a. I'm sorry about that, Mike. You get an unmodified roll in Spain. You're right. 3. I think the 3 is 1. I gotta find the chart. Yep, 1. So Spain. Spain gets 1 native ally. Pew pew. Right there. Real quick, let me figure out what does Spain have there for. All right, Spain did not bring a general with them into Middle Atlantic. Okay, looking at France, or excuse me, the right here, Mysore Maharajas. Um, uh, England brings 1 sub-general. And France also brings 1 sub-general. Okay, then. Spain did not bring a general with them to the Maharata states. So, need to make this roll. So again, it's just a straight die roll. High roll wins. And Spain is also going to get an unmodified native ally roll. Might be, I guess, for you guys, you 3 in the future. I mean, I guess we could just assume that if there's a battle and you have a legal chance to roll for native allies, to go ahead and roll for native allies. You just have to let me know if you want to spend money on it. That seems, I think, a fair assumption. Okay, so again, red is England, black is France. France gets the initiative again. So, battles in the Maharata states. It is not a territory that originated to England, so they don't get a militia unit. Though, conversely, Mysore, because England is moving into there, Mysore will generate an militia unit because Mysore did begin with the French. And of course, now I have to dig through the entire pile of tokens. All right, I think we've got that sorted out. So, big battle of France v Um, France and Spain v. England and Middle Atlantic and also the Maharaja States. And I think that's all of the stuff that required. We do have a militia unit out there. All right. I see Steve. Someone's asking about 2 militias. If I remember correctly, it's a round down, not round up. So it's half round down. Correction. Half the value rounded up. So the Middle Atlantic colonies is a value of 2, so it would be 1. In Mysore, it's a value of 3, so it would be 2. So Mysore gets dose militia. Dose militia. Meow. 2 militia there. All right. England's going to get some militia for Hanover. They're going to get, they will get 2 out there as well. Okay. Is that it? I feel like we had some more going on. All right. Let me get my notebooks. Write down. Check all the battles. We'll do the NPC battles first. Franconia. We're going to do Franconia first. There is 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 Austrian SP in Franconia. Franconia is a value of 1. Oh, we're talking about retreat fire. I've gotten orders from England to say attack. So England is not running away from nothing because they're not. They're awesome. All right. So 6-1. Austria gets a +5 to their die roll in Franconia. Franconia is again in the middle right here. 6 + 5 is an 11. It's a 9+. Attacker wins. SP equal to territory production value. So Austria is going to go up to the 25 value. They get an additional 1 SP in Franconia. All right. We'll come over here to the Ottomans and Don. Right here. Ottomans are attacking. It's 10-1. That gives them a +9 modifier. I don't even have to roll. They win the territory. And also get +1. Write that down. SP. Duchy of Warsaw. Duchy of Warsaw has a value of 3. There are 6 Prussian SP in there. That's a 6 to 3 or a 3 to or excuse me, 2 to 1 ratio. I can math hard. Again, Duchy of Warsaw is right here. So they will get a +1 die roll modifier. Here we go. 3 to a 4. Attacker does win, but they lose 1 SP. So pressure goes up by 1. Win. -1 SP. And also Saxony. Saxony is the same situation. It's a 2 to 1. So it's a +1 die roll. Here we go. That was not right. That was there on 21. They go to 24 because that's a 3 value territory because I can math hard. Saxony. 5 + 1 is a 6. Attacker wins. No change. 1, 2, 3. Go 27. All right. What's the easiest ones to do? All right. So, out of all of this mess, Maharata, Middle Atlantic colonies, Hanover, Hessia. I think those are it. So mid. We have Maharata. Oh, we do have Mysore. That's right. That's France and Spain versus England. Then we have Mysore. That's France versus England. Then we have Hanover. That's France versus England and Prussia. And Hesse. It's France versus England and Prussia. Well, it seems to me that the easiest one to do here is Mysore because we have 1 colonial SP, French colonial SP, and 2 militia versus 1 English colonial SP. So I'm going to roll that one because that's easy. So all right. Let me come over here so you guys can see. Come join me. Join me on this side of the board, on this side of the world, as we come to southern India, the tip of southern India. And get it to focus. That's my finger. Hello, finger. Come on down. Focus. Grr. Stand by a second. There we go. Had to do some manual stuff. All right, here we go. So, 1 for every 2, round up. 1 for every 2 for the French SP, round up. And then a D6 for each actual militia SP. So, Colonial SP, since there's only 1 die, they will hit on their first 5. So since there's only 1 die, if they roll a 5, they hit. And then the French native allies, they need straight 6s. All right, here we go. What's going to happen? Let me roll here. Get these dice out of the way. All right. Interesting. So, England does score a hit. One of the militia does also score a hit, but the remainder don't. This is going to be interesting. So, in distributing the casualties, we need to see if, so actually it would be like this. We need to see if the hit goes on to the militia SP or not. All right, if this rolls a 1, then it's applied to the militia. Otherwise, it's applied to the colonial SP. It's a 3. So, basically what ends up happening is the French and the English colonial SPs basically just run at each other, and they stab each other, and they both die. um, So that has some interesting consequences. Technically, England didn't take it, so France hasn't technically lost control. So France does have a place to retreat to, although they could retreat into Spain's Nizam's dominion as well. So that France does have an outlet. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this over here. 5, 6, 7, 8. So England is going to get 4 dice for their colonial SP. So they have 8 SP, gives them 4 dice. They've got 3 native allies, they get 3 dice for that. All right. Spain gets, they've got 3 SP, so that gives them 2 dice. It's going to get confusing really fast. They've got 2 dice. All right, I see your note. Iron Rider of Hanover Falls, retreat to Prussia, same with Hessia. Maharaja's retreat to Bengal, not a problem. All right, so they got the 2 dice. They get 2 additional dice for their native allies. Okay. How many many extra dice do I have? I don't actually have a lot. I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to roll these, and then that'll clear up some dice to use for Spain. So the red dice for the English are the Colonial SP, first 5 hits, and then the remaining 6s. And then actually with their native allies, that's the same as well. First 5 on the native allies hits, the rest hit on 6s. Okay, we got 1. All right. So we got 1 hit. There's 2 4s for the remaining colonial dice, and then 2 4s for the native allied dice. The remaining couple dice are way low. They do have their leader to adjust 1 die roll. They're going to adjust one of the native ally hits to a 5 to try to relieve some casualty pressure off of, if they can take a hit on that native ally instead of on their SP. So the French is going to be the same. First, the whites are the colonials, the greens are the native allies. The first 5 will hit, the rest hits on 6s for each color. Oh my. So both colonial SPs hit, and 1 native ally hits. The French general does not need to use his command ability. All right, so that frees up some dice now. So I'm going to use whites and green for Spain as well, just to keep it consistent. So they have 2, 3, 4. So 2 colonial dice and 1 regular dice. So the green will be the regular die for them, and the colonial dice will be the 2 whites. Again, the green die will hit on a 5 or 6, and then the white dice will hit the first 5. The other has to be a 6. Spain misses. Now, here's the thing, because this is a joint battle, I have to check my rules. I do believe the casualties get split between them, so they each take 1. It's percentage of SP of the battle, and that's pretty close. So yeah, we'll go 1 to 1. It just makes it easy. All right, so Spain will lose a colonial SP. That's easy. I'll just take it right off the top. Now, does the 1 hit become a native hit? No. So it's going to be 2 hits off of 1, 2. And then, so 1 hit goes there. And then I need to see if 2, 3, there's 3 hits actually. There's 4 left. 1, 2. Yeah, there's 5 left because they had 8 SP there. All right. So then I need to see if this extra hit goes towards the ally or not. 2, it does not, so it goes against that right there. All right. And then we got to roll for the casualty on the British commander. 5. He's not hurt. So these guys retreat to Bengal. Spain and France. Need you guys to tell me who's taking control of that territory, because you guys didn't, or if you talked about it, I missed it. So if you could post that in the chat real quick. Now, 1, 2. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be retreat fire. The English have plenty of native allies, plus what they would generate anyways. So, nope. All right, so Mysore. Minus 1. Oh, goes to Spain. All right. All right. So 1, 2, 3. Spain goes up 2. England goes down 2. 2. Let me put a Spanish token on that so that way we can tell. All right. Might as well stay in the colonies. Let's come over to this jumbled mess. All right. France gets 1 regular die for his regular SP and gets 2 colonial die for the colonial SP, and then 2 native allied dice. The native allies differ. They get their first 4 in the remaining 6s. The colonial or the regular dice will get a 5 or 6, and then the colonial dice will get the first 5, and then the remaining 6. So roll the French. Ouch. So colonial hits, native ally hits. All right. I'm going to suspect that France wants to lay the hurt. So they rolled a 4 on their colonial, so they're going to roll that 4 to a 5, causing 3 casualties. Spain, on the other hand, gets 2 colonial dice, 1 regular dice, and 1 native ally dice. So the whites are colonial, the red is regular, and the black is native. Nope, not so well on that one. Okay. So Spain. So England gets 1 regular die, 1 colonial die, The black, let's see, where's my green dye? Green dye, green dye. Green dye's over there. I'm going to use it. Okay, red is regular, white is colonial, black is militia. And I'm going to use this green dye as native ally. So red regular, white colonial, black militia, green native ally. Native ally misses, the militia misses, the regular hits, and only rolled a 3 on the colonial, so it's not good enough. So England does 1 hit to France's 3. See if this hit's going to go on the native ally. It's a 5. It does not, so it goes to the colonial SP. Conversely, England loses 3 SP. Let me check here. We might get some retreat fire here. Let me see. So the French have 2 colonial SP that gives them 1 retreat fire die, and then they have 2 native allies, which gives them 2 additional die. The English only have 1 regular SP, so they don't generate any retreat fire dice for that. But they do have 1 native ally, so they subtract 1 die from that. So France needs to get 2 6s or a 6 naturals. They do. They get a natural 6. So they kill. They're running away. Their commander. Let's see if the commander was killed in the fight before he gets captured. That's a 5. So nope. England's General Wolfe gets captured in the Middle Atlantic colonies. I'm going to presume then that since the Mahrattas went to Spain, that the Middle Atlantic colonies went to France. So England goes down 2. 1, 2. France goes up 2. 1, 2. Oh, man. All right. So, that was a lot. What did England have here? We have the Middle Atlantic colonies. France -1. France. Colonial SP. And then England lost -2. England. Regular SP. -2. Colonial SP. So that's France wins. Spain wins. All right. Hanover. Let's do Hesse. That's smaller and less difficult for me to calculate. So it's going to be 2 French dice, both hitting on 5s and 6s, versus a British die, which will hit on a 5 or 6, and a Prussian die, which will hit on a 4, 5, or 6. Because Prussia has their special ability that on their first die gets them a plus or a hit on a 4. So we'll scoot this over. Chuck it. There we go. Ooh. Ooh. France gets 0 hits. Prussia gets 0 hits. England gets a hit, and France, I'm not even going to bother looking to see if you have a leader there because it doesn't matter. You didn't roll well enough to turn that. So France loses 1 SP and will retreat. So all right. This is a mess. I have to actually break this out. So France has 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15, that'll be 8. That'll be 8 dice. So that rounds up. France is starting with 8 dice. Prussia's getting 1. England is going to get 7. 7, so that'll be 4 dice. But they're also going to get 2 green dice for their militia. But wait, there's more. All right, so Maharata's going to France and Middle's going to Spain. No big deal. Doesn't make a difference to the chart. It just move the tokens. All right. Actually, I need to look at my ledger. Make sure I've got everything in order. England has 1 subgeneral in Hanover. France has a king, a subgeneral, a guard cav, and a guard infantry. You guard cav. Guard infantry. And the king. So here's the king token. Here's the guard cavalry token. Maybe if you can kind of see it. And the guard infantry is the same, except it's an infantry dude instead of a So, since I've used up all of my colors, I'm going to roll. And you know what? Let me double check and verify that Prussia didn't bring anybody. I don't think they did. But let me check. Oh, they did have a subgeneral in Hessia, but um, yeah, they didn't roll high enough to make a difference. All right. So I'm going to roll. Where are we? Dice. Here's my dice. Here's my pile of dice right here. So I'm going to roll the Allied first. The reds are the regulars, the greens are the militia, and the black is the Prussian group. So 1 English hit, 2 English hit, the Prussian hit, and then their English general is going to use, he got 1 green 5, so he's going to use that to roll a hit with the militia to try to relieve some of the pressure there. So that is 4 hits against the French. Now we've got 2 reds here. So for the French side, the reds are going to be the guards. Guards hit on 4 pluses. Both guards hit. 1, 2. There's a 4 that's going to roll to a 5. All right, Mr. Cyrus, I'm going to leave this, since you're in here, I'm going to leave this question to you. You've got your king. I used your 1 subgeneral to roll a 4 hit to a 5 hit. And you've got your king, but you do have a 3 die. So if you want to use your king's ability to roll that 3 up to a 5, that would give you 6 hits to his 4. Right now you're winning 5 to 4, but you have the option to roll it to a 6 to 4 win. Yeah, you're right. You guys get defensive works. Forgot about that. But the question still remains. So he is fighting with. I'm starting to lose energy. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He had 11. So how many does he get with 11? He gets 2 defensive works. So with the 2 defensive works, he'd knock down see, I can't remember. I think all right, so you got to decide Yeah, he's got 2 works, so yeah, he would take 2 away. Um, well, you have to decide first. You have to make the decision if you want to use the leader before he applies his hit, takes away the hits. You have to risk your general because you have to put him in at the head of the charge to determine if you want to charge the works or not. Yes. Okay. So, general's using his general to roll the 3 to a 5. So, that general here, and that's going there, and then this one went to there. But he's using his defensive works to knock the 2 5s down to a 4. So we've only done 4 casualties apiece. So it is a tie. I think in winter, during a tie, the attacker withdraws. I can't remember where I wrote. Paths, modifying rolls, Prussian battle setup, casualties. I am 99.2 to 3. Yes, 2 to 3 because you needed to bring that 3 up to a hit. Otherwise, that's what you had to do. So, okay, casualties. Do the guards become casualties? 1 does become a casualty. Is it a 1 or 6? Let me verify. A 1. Whoo, man, that was close. That guard cavalry had that bullet whiz right by his head, but the die was rolled wrong. So they don't become casualties, so they will take all 4 will come off of the French. Oh, but we got a unique. Hold on. So 1 will come off of this French stack, and then 3 will come off of. So I pulled off a 5. I'm taking off 3. So I need to put 2 back. Oh, bastard. All right. According to the Prussians will lose 1 of their 2. And then of the remaining 3 hits that are applied to the English, will any of them apply to the militia? Yes, 1 hit applies to the militia. So that means the remaining 2 get applied to England. All right. Commanders. Does the French subgeneral become a casualty? Yes. What happens to him? I think 6 is a capture. Subgeneral's captured by the English. The French king. What happens to the French king? Now he used both of his ability points. So he's on a 8 or higher. 7. He rolls a 7. The French king is safe. Now the English subgeneral. What happens to the English subgeneral? 7. The English subgeneral is safe. All right. Retreat. French will retreat into Westphalia with their king and guards. And you have an option now. You can retreat your guys out of Hessia into Westphalia or Berg. Berg, yep, that's kind of what I've assumed, but I just wanted to verify. Going back to Berg. Okay. Retreat fire. I don't think we're going to have any retreat fire retreating into Berg. And I highly doubt there's going to be retreat fire retreating into Westphalia either, just because France outnumbers them there. So, yeah, D. Yeah, I mean, at the very least, they're going to have at least equal dice. So, all right, that's that. So that's it for combat. Next, we go to the supply and control phase. Down here in Mysore, because the two guys stabbed each other to death with their axes and stuff. Nobody was left to retain control of the territory. Therefore, that territory goes fallow. Otherwise, I think everything else is square. So we have. Oh, I meant that general subgeneral was there for a reason. As it stands, now, I don't know if France or Spain if you want to fight over Wolf, but you guys have captured Wolf in the Middle Atlantic colonies, and England, you have captured whatever the French commander's name is. I don't know those guys. Um, so that's that. That would be the end of turn 3. So now we have the overtime play. Turn 4. Random events. Stand by, I have to untangle my cord. It is a mess. All right, sorry about that. I grab my percentile dice. All right, percentile. Let's see if I can actually read the random events charts this time. I think every turn I've screwed up reading the random events charts and get excited about something's going to happen and it shouldn't apply. All right. Let's see how many territories get random events. Rolling this red die. 5. Let's see what we got. All right. The first one is going to get a 9. A 9 is desertion, except capital territory. Number 2 is a 10. A 10 is a revolt. Haven't seen that one yet. Let's see who. Be interesting to find out who. Now, I think the fun thing about that one is that doesn't say anything about capital territory. So fair game on that one. 9 again. That's desertion. I have a feeling that these citizen soldiers are not happy with all this warring that's going on. 8. 8 is disease. And then the last one, 4. Successful recruitment. All right. Let's see who these apply to. Number 1. The first one goes to 8. Territory number 8 is Bengal. Bengal has desertion. Apparently, subtract 1 SP from the occupying force, except capital territory. No SPs may be raised. If no SPs remain, the territory is lost. So they don't appreciate having lost. They apparently don't have confidence in their commander, and so they're deciding to run home. All right, who is revolting? $49. 49 is Bohemia. Bohemia is revolting. So let's see, we haven't had that one come up, so let's read it. Revolt. No SPs or production values are raised in the territory while the revolt is in effect. The revolt continues until the number of SPs in the occupying force exceeds the territory's production value. So, Bohemia has a value of 2. They only have 1 SP in there. The revolt will continue until they move at least 2 SP in there. All right, who's deserting again? $83. 83 is Poland. minus 1 SP out of Poland. All right, who has disease? Territory 97. Territory 97 is the French West Indies. Apparently, the governor there in the French West Indies wasn't able to clear all that sour rum out of the. So French West Indies disease is no SP production value, so it's a 2 value, so minus 2 gold. No raised, no movement. And finally, again with the bad rum, or as Spain alludes to, the STDs. Yes, very much so. Finally, who successfully recruits? Who is it going to be? Let us see. 76. 76 is Bulgaria. Bulgaria successfully recruits 2 SP. Boom. All right. Next is the off-board front allocation. How much are the Ottomans going to have to pay? 1. The Ottomans only pay 4 gold piece. Sounds like a good one for them. All right. 76 is not Russia because I didn't roll a 76. I rolled something else. Yeah, I'll recheck the tape. If it is Russia, I'll fix it. No, I don't know which one you're referring to because you're a little bit behind me. Anyways, yeah, we'll get back to it. All right. Here comes the fun one. Are the Jacobites going to rebel? Need a 1. Come on, 1. Oh, and it rolled off. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, can you see it down there? I rolled a 1. The Jacobites rebel. Jacobites rebel. All right. So, first things first. We haven't had it, so let's read it. English ground had to deal with a number of Scottish uprisings during the 18th century. Each turn, a player will roll 1d6. The result of a 1, Jacobites rebel and are at war with the English. The English loses control of the territory, even if SP are located there. May not collect GP, nor may they raise SP there. So England goes down to 1, 2. England may move troops into Scotland from England during the movement phase. Conversely, they may also move their SP from Scotland to England if they desire. Jacobites initially raise a king and a subgeneral, and a number of SP based on a 1d6 roll. What die am I going to use? I'm going to use, though, the same die. I have a feeling. Here we go. How much SP do they raise? 3. They raise 5. 5 Jacobite SP. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a king. And so here's the Jacobite token. Jacobites are little buggers because they get a d6 for each token, and they hit on their first 4, and the rest are hit on 6s. And then they get a king, and they also get a subgeneral. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a mighty big stack of tokens right there. All right. That is taken care of. Tropical diseases. Let's see, French West Indies already have tropical disease, and Jamaica is the only one, so I'll just do a quick die roll for that. Does Jamaica get it? Nope. Who else? Do we have anywhere else? Caribbean, that doesn't apply. All right, that was the only one that I can see that would have been affected that isn't already affected by something. So, and then finally is the Spanish treasure fleet, which I will do off camera. Manila did already generate a Spanish treasure fleet. That was the treasure fleet that rolled in. That was the news that proclaimed from on high, where the sailors getting loose on their drinks and their excitement came in from Manila. Coincidentally, they rolled for it on the first turn of the game. So, all right, that's it, everybody. That's what we got. So, yeah, there we go. We got some interesting happening going on. We had the colonies are really hot. Looks like things are definitely. I'd say the Franco-Spanish alliance definitely has momentum in the colonies there. But the French suffered a setback there in Germany, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out in the future. So, after all of that, I am beat. I am going to call it a day, and I am going to say a goodbye.